Hello friends, welcome on my YouTube channel. This is Piyu Bhattacharya and I'm back once again with the poetry The Heart of the Tree. In my previous video, I have already given you the detailed summary of the poem as well as about the poet. In this video, I'm going to explain the poetry stanza wise. William Kyler Burner. The Heart of the Tree stanza wise. Friends, you can see on my left hand side I have given the meanings of the poem for a clear understanding, and on the right hand side the poetry is written. While explaining the poetry, I will also tell you which line stands for each poetic devices. Friends, if you want video on poetic devices, please write on my description box. So let's start with the poetry. So the poet begins like this. What does he plant who plants a tree? He plants a friend of sun and sky. He plants the flag of breezes free, the shaft of beauty towering high. He plants a home to heaven anigh, for song and mother croon of bird, in hushed and happy twilight heard, the treble of heaven's harmony. These things he plants who plants a tree. So this is the poem. Let's begin the explanation. Friends, you can see in the second line a friend of sun and sky. So this stands for both metaphor as well as alliteration. Alliteration means repetition of consonant sounds. You can see in the poetry in the line sun and sky, S and S has been repeated twice. So this becomes alliteration. This also stands for metaphor, as the tree is compared in an implied manner. So let's proceed to the next line. He plants the flag of breezes free. So this line, the flag of breezes free, is also a metaphor. So the poet asks a question. What all does a man plant when he plants a tiny sapling? He goes on to answer his own question. By this great act, he achieves many things. A tree generates a genial and pollution free atmosphere. Since it is a friend of the sun and the sky, therefore, a tree reduces temperature, purifies air by producing oxygen, absorbs dust. It ensures cool, breathable, and livable environment. The gentle breeze calms down our nerves and cools down our temperature. Let's proceed to the next line. The shaft of beauty, towering high, he plants a home to heaven anigh. For song and mother croon of bird in hushed and happy twilight heard. Let's look at the explanation. A tall tree is like a beautiful, strong tower. It turns a place into heaven. It provides shelter, food, and protection. He who plants a tree offers shelter to birds. Now, here you can see mother croon of bird. This is onomatopoeia. Another poetic device that has been used here is onomatopoeia. Please note down the spelling: onomatopoeia. This means the sounds that are used in the poetry are called as onomatopoeia. Let's look at to the next line. In hushed and happy twilight heard the treble of heaven's harmony. These things he plants who plants a tree. Their melodious, soft chirpings in the twilight of the evening transforms the earth into heaven. The harmony and peace and the resultant happiness are all blissful for mankind. Children, please note this stanza gives a beautiful description of a tall tree, a friend of the sun and the sky, a flag of the breezes, a shaft of beauty, an attractive spot close to heaven for a bird to build her nest and rear up her young ones and sing sweet songs, a treble of heaven's harmony. Let's proceed to the second stanza. What does he plant? Who plants a tree? He plants cool shade and tender rain, and seed and bud of days to be, and years that fade and flush again. He plants the glory of the plain. He plants the forest's heritage, the harvest of a coming age, the joy that unborn I shall see. These things he plants who plants a tree. Now let's begin with the explanation. Before I start the explanation, I'll give you the poetic devices that has been used in the stanza. First is, you can see in the fourth line of the poetry, fade and flush. This is an alliteration. Next is the forest's heritage. This is an example of metaphor. There is another example of metaphor in the second line, harvest of a coming age. So let's proceed to the explanation. A year ends paving the way for a new year that brings hopes and promises. One who plants a tree beautifies the land and glorifies the environment. It maintains the heritage of the forest. A tree helps in the expansion of a forest. It also provides for the future harvest. The coming generations are benefited by the many good things offered by trees. The children coming to the world later will be healthy and happy because of the trees that are planted now. So, a tree links the present with the future in this stanza. Children, please note a tree is not only an object of delight, it also offers services. It provides us cool shade and nurses seeds and birds, which in later years will grow into more trees. This one tree might thus generate a forest which will benefit the future generations and will be the joy of unborn eyes. Here, unborn eyes refers to the unborn children, our future generation. So the poet tries to give message through this poetry that we should not only think about ourselves but also about our future generation. With this, let's proceed to the next stanza. This is the third and last stanza of the poem. The poet writes, what does he plant who plants a tree? He plants in sap and leaf and wood, in love of home and loyalty, and far cast thought of civic good. His blessings on the neighborhood, who in the hollow of his hand holds all the growth of all our land. A nation's growth from sea to sea stirs in his heart who plants a tree. Now, in this stanza, the poet says, The same question is being repeated in the third stanza as well. So the poet says, "He who plants a sapling makes way for leaves and woods that we get from a tree. A tree promotes good values like love and faithfulness that are necessary to build a secure domestic atmosphere. The sense of well being spreads from home to neighborhood. It will be a great civic service. Thus, planting a tree will be beneficial not only for an individual but also for a home, a neighborhood, a town, and a country. This work is blessed by the Creator, who had envisaged a healthy, happy, and prosperous world, while one who plants a tiny sapling that ultimately grows into a tree has the well being of his nation in his heart. From one shore to another, a country prosperous prospers because of her green belt that helps in creating health, happiness, energy, and general well being. Children also note, he who plants a tree participates in his God's work. Here, his refers to God's in his work, which is the growth of all the world. So, the concluding line, a nation's growth from sea to sea, or stirs in his heart who plants a tree, means he who plants a tree is inspired by the desire to work for the growth of the nation. So, the planting of a tree is the planting of his blessings. The tree is a blessing, a gift of God. Children, this is a lyric poem. In this poetry, the rhyming scheme that has been followed is AB, ABB, CCA. I'm repeating once again, AB, ABB, CCA. I'll write for you, A, B, A, B, B, C, C, A. So, this is the rhyming scheme that has been followed in these lines. I hope I have given you detailed explanation of the poetry. Thanks for watching. If you have any kind of doubt, you can comment under the box given. Thanks and have a good day.